So I just recently turned 28, and I feel like I need to get better at talking to the camera, because if I'm going to be in this online industry, adding value to the market for years and decades, I just need to improve my skill of talking to the camera, right? So this is, maybe I'm making this video in a little bit of a selfish way, but I also have a specific message that I want to send out. And it's mostly this idea that I've been going through, that sometimes you do need to take a little bit of a step back in order for you to take a step towards your long-term goals. And I feel like I understand how this is hard for a lot of people. For instance, in my scenario, this is a situation where I'm mostly going after a higher quality type of client, and I need to start saying no, or that's what I'm doing right now, to a lot of clients that are part of my previous identity when it comes to the way that I was adding value to the market, right? And it's interesting because it's difficult, right? Like there's a lot of friction that you're going through, because a lot of opportunities from that your past self, you still have that momentum. And in order for you to actually match the type of person that you want to be in the next 10 years, you need to start thinking differently. And it's almost like you're in this sales conversation with yourself, I feel like. And it's difficult, like, for you to actually adapt this new identity of the person that you need to become in order for you to get to where you want to be, right? And I've seen this happens to even high-level business owners. For example, I was having a call with this prospect that they're doing over $500,000 a month, like literally in the last 30 days, they have collected over $700,000. And right now they're just completely overwhelmed with the current scale that they're at. And I was basically offering my rev share specific offer, where we can take over the lead generation when it comes to generating qualified sales appointments for them through paid ads. And also my partner, Eliseo, he can also take over the sales management side of the process. And he was completely like ready to get started. But right now, he doesn't even have like the proper infrastructure for us to get onboarded on his process the right way. And he was telling me that he just has a lot of people right now in his company that they're not ready when it comes to, they're not the right fit in order for them to get to the next level. And I feel like this is just because they don't move fast enough the way that they should. And it's interesting, right? Because sometimes you do need to kill a little bit your past self in order for you to become the person that you want to be. And this even happens at those levels. So it's super interesting seeing that. But yes, it's just this friction that I feel like you need to go through, that sometimes it can even take months. But when you are more strategic and you think a little bit more long-term, you're willing to go through that initial friction and that initial pain of basically killing your past self, or saying no to opportunities of the Pablo 1.0, for example. And in order for you to start becoming that second, that 2.0 person that you want to become. And I was hearing a podcast from Raval Navikant. Yeah, this Indian guy that from Silicon Valley, super smart. For sure, he's about to become a billionaire. I'm not sure, but yes, he has stake on multiple big companies. And he was talking exactly about this idea that you need to start thinking more long-term, and otherwise you might regret not taking those decisions early on. So this is something that I've been thinking, because I feel like everyone goes through this process, even at super high levels, about basically killing your past self in order for you to become the person that you want to become. And yeah, even myself, like for example, right now I'm in Medellin, Colombia. I live originally in Costa Rica, and I feel very comfortable when I'm in my hometown simply because my family is there. My usual friends are also there, and I just feel very comfortable. And then I've been here in Colombia for a little bit over a month, and you're just scroll stopping your way of thinking. And when you do that, you really start thinking in more creative ways, and you start doing a lot of introspection about your life. And I feel that's good, and it's sometimes bad as well. Like, it's about having a balance, of course. Like, you don't want to be overthinking, of course, but especially when you need to take strategic decisions in your life, I feel like it's okay for you to have some of that time in order for you to take a pause and basically think, okay, like, what is the actual strategic decision that I need to make? Not tactical, like thinking on a 6 month or on a 6 month or on a 1 year time frame, but on an actual 10-year time frame. And I feel like maybe that's just maturing and getting more, just understanding how to become a better business owner and thinking more strategically. So I feel like this is something that us, like, not only business owners, but every single human being has to go through. And however, some people just decide to live in a more reactive way instead of taking a pause and making a strategic decision. And then once you make that strategic decision, being able to go through that initial pain of your past self basically pulling you, like, back. And you need to go through that process that maybe can be painful in order for you to become that 2.0 version that you actually want to become.